I am Joe, and I would like to continue with my pre-trip inspection for a Class A combination vehicle or a tractor trailer. And what we do when we start our pre-trip inspection, of course, we remember our 5 fluids. We don't want to see any leakage under the tractor, and we start with the tractor, work around to the trailer as we're doing our pre-trip inspection. And I brought up the acronyms before, things you have to really remember about what should be in place on the whole rig, like things that should be properly mounted and secure, try and keep them in that order, and things that are not cracked, broken, or missing, they should be clean of debris. And third is proper working order, which things fall into those categories. You have to remember what things they are. So the main thing with the tractor trailer is that we start from the top and work down. There's very little on the top of a tractor trailer that we have to inspect, but we'll just remember what those things are. It's mainly our lights on the top, amber lights in the front, red lights in the back, clearance lights, how many clearance lights you have actually on your rig. It should be 5 cab lights and 5 lights on the back of the trailer. And keep that in mind. And 3 lights on the trailer on each side, on the top side of the trailer. And on the tractor, you always want to check the hood latches first, because the whole hood, is what everything's connected to. And we don't want to see any loose debris or anything loose on the hood. And the hood itself has to be in good condition, firmly mounted. And the bumper. And most people look at the glass first. They would say that the windshield has to be completely clean, and you can't have sun baking spots on it, or no untransparent areas or illegal stickers on the windshield, and no stone chips larger than a dime, and no cracks larger than an inch. And then the doors have to be demonstrated with the cab inspection or the tractor inspection. And the main thing with the tractor is you want to have doors that work and glass that works. Everything has to be clean and unbroken. So demonstrate that the glass in the windows works when you're doing your tractor inspection at pre-trip, and indicate the mirrors, which mirrors they are, what type of mirrors they are. If they're convex mirrors, and how many convex mirrors you have, and then the flat mirrors. They're always called the West Coast mirrors, and they have something written on them. It's called Get Out Look, GOAL. There's other ways to say that, but the glass is the most important part of the tractor. You can't miss. People would miss all the time. To begin with, then you go down to the fuel tanks and remember to say that there is fuel in the tank. You've checked that. And the steps on the fuel tank are firmly mounted, and the catwalk behind the fuel tank is firmly mounted, and it has a dog box on the side that holds the crash kit, like the flares and the 3 reflective triangles. You can't forget that, and the spare circuit breakers. And should have a flashlight in there and a first aid kit in there. They're not really necessary. And some people would like to say there's a fire extinguisher in the side compartment box on the tractor. But if it is a fire extinguisher, you have to mention that you have a type 10 UL listed, underwriters listed, ABC, fully charged with a pin intact fire extinguisher. And then we look for the wheels. We can see all the wheels on any tractor trailer have to be inspected the same way, or they're the same way, except for the tread depth, and also that there are traction wheels on the tractor, and they're called axles. You don't want to refer to them as wheels, they're axles. So your traction axles would have the same exact equipment except for the shock absorbers as the trailer would have. Things you want to check on every wheel. It's good to turn the wheel first so you can see behind the wheel, point out what's behind the wheel. Have the wheel turn so you can point the parts out on it. You have an air canister that can't be dented or cracked or damaged in some way. It has to be firmly mounted, and the airline has to be good. It can't have any air leaks on the air canister, and the push rods from the air chamber, whatever you want to call it, have to be on a 90-degree angle, and that means it's mounted securely, and it has to have at least an inch of travel on it. The Type 30 brake has a little more travel distance on it, and most rigs today have Type 30 brakes in them. And then you want to check for the oil seals behind the wheel and in the front of the wheel. Then I'll check for the brake pads. They should have no less than 1/4 of an inch of lining, brake pad lining, and the drums can't be cracked. Most tractors have drum brakes on them, S-cam drum brakes, and you look for the airbags around each corner of the truck, the air ride suspension system. Note that it isn't leaking, and the lines to it aren't leaking. Then you can point out the steering system if you want, and the steering box can't be broken or misaligned. It has to be firmly fastened to the truck. It has a pitman arm, a drag link, an upper and lower control arm, and they have a little special nut with a cotter pin to connect the drag link to the upper and lower control arms. And you have the battery box, and it has to have good connectors on it, so it won't fly open. We look for the pigtails and the differential. It's in the same area, the back of the truck. I see that the CV joints are good and tight and well oiled, I guess. And you have you can't have no loose bolts or rivets, and it has to have a pigtail that's firmly connected on each side of the tractor and the trailer. You can't have any splices on the pigtail, and cracks can be frayed. And the emergency line is a red line usually, and that's on the right side of the truck on the outside. The air line has to be completely good. Can't have any cracks in it or splices in it. And the service brake line, it can be any color, but that's on the inner part of the truck. And glad hands and the connectors got to be in clean condition, no air leaks. And with the tractor, you have your lights underneath the tractor. Point those lights out, what they do. You know, your parking lights, brake lights, turn signal lights, running lights, reverse lights, and your grab handles for the cab. Just point out that the doors work fine. I think that should cover your cab inspection, tractor inspection. Well, good luck.